It's another original BW Sports 1 production.
Pew
What is going on, folks? That's right. The Dukes of Football is here again. Welcome. And tonight, welcome the source. See, I'm on the other side. I'm normally going like this. Now I'm doing this. What's happening?
Well, A, at this point, it's the Duke, because you are the Duke, and B, I think I've just been like a substitute for everybody lately.
Well, you're doing a great job. Everybody needs a night off sometimes, and we definitely appreciate it. But yeah, we're in the preseason now of the NFL. College, a lot of college talk going on. Yeah, I know preseason is, but
Yeah.
you know how we do it around here. We
Yeah.
talk about the divisions, But first, I see a note put on here, and you don't know this because you don't see these notes because it's not on here. But special conversation. There was two running backs that jumped ship finally to another landing spot. One of those being your wonderful Dallas Cowboy Ezekiel Elliott. How do you feel about that one?
I'm okay with that. I mean, his numbers dropped drastically over the years. So you figure it's a passing game, and I think they're going to do a really good job of filling or having Pollard as a lead back. And I'm really liking this Deuce Vaughn kid. He's kind of like, this is going to make you happy. He's like Darren Sproles that the Eagles had. So I think it's going to work out well for them. I was really hoping they would have gotten Dalvin Cook, though.
Well, speaking of Dalvin Cook, he now wears a green jersey and then joins Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Aaron himself, over in New York as a Jet for a 1-year deal.
Yeah, that's. I'm not surprised he went there, but it's kind of like, how much more firepower can the Jets have, and how are they going to gel? I've been watching the Hard Knocks, and one big thing that's been their problem has been their offensive line, which has been their MO over the last however many years since the Jets have existed. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work. But Dalvin Cook and Aaron Rodgers on offense at the same time, who would have ever thought that? They were division rivals for years, and now they're teammates. And I'm actually kind of excited. I might have to start rooting for at least one green team this year, and it won't be the Eagles.
Oh, now why would you do that, sir? Why would you do that?
I like their green better than the Kelly green.
Oh, no, see, I can't agree with you there. We're not always going to agree on this show, folks. That one right there is a definite disagreeable argument.
Agree to disagree.
There we go. All right, so I did see something really quick coming out of the NFC East division that, hold on, let me pull this up, my notes. A group called the Native American Guardians Association.
Saw that.
Is demanding the return of the Redskins name. That should be interesting. I would love to see it. I've talked to several Native American cultures, and none of them have really said anything negative upon the name of the Redskins being in the football. But, it is what it is. We digress. Speaking of digressing, a Steelers fan is entering the room. And as he enters the room, we have to welcome the one and only, the one.
I'm having ass issues with my camera. That's why I'm at a different angle because
it's definitely in a different angle. Welcome back to Midwest culture life, by the way.
Hey, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna lie. I like this angle better of you.
He doesn't look as tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be back on Indiana soil. Talk about a drive and a half.
Ooh.
I put 4 stacks on my car in miles. There and back. Oh, it was crazy. Listen, I told the wife, I'm on the phone with her, but I'm in the hotel, like, never crying because my heart was racing so fast driving through the fucking mountains. If it was at night, I'd have probably just pulled over and slept on the side of the road. It's too much. Too
Hey,
much.
I'm just letting you know, since we were talking about it earlier, that 8-hour drive from Indiana to PA, you don't have as many mountains to deal with to get to where I'm at to deliver food. I'm just saying.
I've already made that drive to PA. That is a completely different drive.
Yeah, you don't have to go up and down valleys, hills, mountains. Damon is probably sitting there. Oh man, I could just see him.
I'm glad there was nobody else in the car to see my terror.
Oh man,
And you got these freaking semi trucks, bro.
do anything.
Different route on the way back. I did not go through the mountains, but it was cool. Like I told Matt, I drove through Mount Rushmore. No, I hadn't told him that because we had just did the first show. So after the show the next day, I drove up through Mount Rushmore. That was pretty cool. Scary as shit. You got bikers, Sturgis Week. These cats is just
Wow.
they're just rolling through, bro. I'm like, oh, you're killing me. But it was fun. It was worth it. You know what I mean? I saw some very beautiful part of the country that I wouldn't normally see. But I went through, what, seven states, 8 states, and 6 of them I had never been in before. So
Billings, Montana is a nice little town.
it is. It is. They got some good food there, some good people. I say this places, man. Like I was in Montana, I was in South Dakota. North Dakota is flat as shit.
Well,
But
so
it was fun.
did you hear? We were just speaking on. Did you hear the news of the Native American Guardians Association demanding the name back of the Redskins? We were fans of it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the Redskins, but I understand why, some people were upset. Americans think they were giving them down. Dan, you're dark as shit, bro.
I know. I always told you I was part black, motherfucker. Shit.
That's that 16%.
He was just taking your spot for the show till you got here.
Right. Now all of a sudden I'm Michael Jackson.
No, I understand it. As Americans, you think that you're honoring somebody's legacy, but in truth, the term is kind of derogatory a little bit. That's like, I don't want to use racial or anything like that, but it's like saying the Mississippi Babas. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I kind of get both sides of it, but I was a fan of the Redskins. So
Yep.
It's iconic.
So we were, obviously in our division talks, Damon, Matt, and we got somebody for the South. I do feel sorry for this poor soul this year. He is in one of the,
Slow it down,
if not the worst division in the NFL.
Go Colts.
And God love you, Stephen A. That's
Actually,
right.
my own jersey because I'm so ashamed of everybody else.
What's happening, man? How you been?
Man, there goes my wrestling figure.
Oh, come
My
on.
CM Punk head.
Can't be throwing him around. He's going to get pissed.
Still looks better than that Colts shirt you got on.
Ooh,
I'll just put it over there.
there
we
you
go.
go.
Hey, yeah. If anything, the Colts have been entertaining this offseason, right?
I
Given national headlines.
Jonathan Taylor has been entertaining.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So
If you're on ESPN, you know it's all about the Jets. I was going to bring that up. I was like, man,
oh,
every time I've turned on ESPN radio, it's been the Jets.
Jets. That's all they're
And I
hearing
don't turn it
about.
on that often, but
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Who does? I mean, everybody comes here to BW Sports 1, right?
So yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Now he's out for personal reason
Well, of course he is.
because it's excused absence though. So the mom must have called in and said, "My boy will be out sick today," so that he could get that excuse. No missed grade on his performance, but yeah.
Well, we shall not, sir. But before we jump into the Colts any further,
Yes.
let's talk about who I believe is going to I don't want to say really off well, but they're going to walk through the division, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think that this team is even going to be better than the team that exceeded expectations last year. You come off the Urban Meyer debacle. It felt like I'm sure for them, it felt like a Chip Kelly debacle for Philly when that happened. So you got that out of the way. You bring in Doug Peterson, who has been to a Super Bowl, who has won a Super Bowl. That's right, Matt. We finally got the one. And now you have Trevor Lawrence, you have ETN, you have hold on here. Where's my there we
Calvin
go.
Ridley.
Well,
Remember?
hold on. I was getting to him, but I was talking about on the offense. He picked up finally an offensive lineman that he needed in Harrison from Oklahoma, and I just think that their defense is in question. And I'm going to start with you, Steven, since this is your division. Give us your thoughts on Jacksonville.
I mean, right now they got the best quarterback in the division, which isn't saying much, but I mean, and that's all that really will care. You know, that's you go as far as they go. That quarterback goes. So it won't surprise me if they do run away with it. You know, I haven't seen because you got the Titans working. You know, with the new quarterback, you got the Texans who seemingly are like the Colts and just can never figure that out. So, and Texans have had enough issues on their own end. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all that the Jags. I don't know what's the over under on wins for them this year. Is it? It probably
The
doesn't take that
Jags, I think it's
10,
9.5.
and it probably will take what 10 to win the division,
If that.
if that. Last year it took going 9 or 10, I think. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, and Trevor Lawrence is pretty fun to watch. Even if he did want his signing bonus in crypto, which I heard he's already lost half of it. So that's kind
Probably.
of cool. But yeah, I think it's all the Jags to lose. And how often do Jaguar fans get to be that excited about a season? So
It's been a while.
so yeah, not I know I pay a lot of attention to the Colts, but it does sound like the Jags have moved in the right direction. And yeah, I think they're going to take the division easily, honestly.
Source, throw your thoughts.
All right. Well, I agree that I think Jacksonville is going to probably be the best team in that division, but the thing that's going to hold them back is they lack the depth on their offensive line. I've been looking. They got Cam Robinson, who's suspended, and he was a really good fill-in for them last year. And for the most part, that's going to be offensive line by committee if anybody gets hurt. Defensively, they look pretty good again. I mean, they were pretty good last year overall on defense. But I will say this, and I will counter this. Don't sleep on Tennessee just yet. I'm not saying that they are going to beat Jacksonville, but if Ryan Tannehill can play like Ryan Tannehill played that year where Tennessee was probably the best team in the AFC, with the weapons that they have on offense, with Traylon Burks, DeAndre Hopkins, and Derrick Henry all just playing phenomenal, their offense might be able to keep them alive in games and be able to score points. And their defense, I think, can hold their own just enough to maybe squeak out a close win here and there. So don't sleep on Jacksonville if Tannehill actually shows up and plays like Tannehill can.
All right. There's his thoughts on Tennessee. Steven, I'm gonna swing it right back to you, brother. Tennessee Titans. What do you think of them?
Yeah, I was kind of look. I forgot about the Hopkins signing. That's pretty big. Was that this year? Was that this year's signing?
Yep.
Sorry. Always, I got a lot of wrestling in my brain, so it's hard to put wrestling in football.
We totally understand.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, if Tannehill can step it up, I mean, he helped carry them with Derrick Henry. What, 2 years ago? Because Henry was hurt off and on last year, right? Or was he out some of the time? Or
he was off and on.
Okay.
2 straight games, I think. Then was kind of back for a couple, and then got hurt again.
But there's no doubt that Derrick Henry, like when he's at his peak, is ridiculous. I mean, we've seen him run over defensive players that are half his size, which is not pretty unheard of. So
right.
I mean, I would take Derrick Henry, easily to my backfield. So I think they're why not? Why couldn't they hold their own if everything is clicking in the right direction? I don't think you sign Hopkins if you don't think you have a shot either. So that's probably why they went after him. So, so I think middle of the road, but could challenge Jacksonville if Jacksonville things fall apart there.
Well, I don't know about that, guys. Tannehill's got to step up. Unfortunately, their team took a hit today because somebody got carted off the practice field, and that is their young talent in Treylon Burks. He got carted off the field, and it sounded like there was a lot of worry from the teammates there of what happened. I haven't had a chance to.
I just saw what the results were from. He has a sprained LCL on his left knee.
Okay, well then it shouldn't keep him off for too long. Might sideline him for the rest of the preseason, but that's something to definitely watch out for because if you weaken it one time, you're definitely prone to some type of injury again with that type of thing going on. But the defense, the defense is what I think is going to keep Tennessee in the running overall, but not necessarily. Oops. All right, we'll leave you off for a second. I saw him pop back in, and I was ready. Oh, there he is.
We hit the button at the same time.
Aha!
Apparently had to do a reboot of everything.
Hey.
Got that mic hot, too.
Let's say it happens.
Can you go back to that other camera angle? I like that one better.
I don't care.
So, D, we're talking about the Tennessee Titans. Now we got through the Jags. Now we're talking about Tennessee. And what's your thoughts on Tennessee?
Tennessee is going to be an interesting one. I know it's pretty much going to be a quarterback battle there. But I don't really see a whole lot of upside. I mean, granted, they're going to win more games than the Colts, but I don't see a lot of upside in Tennessee. You know what I mean? You're still leaning on Tannehill, and then you got a bunch of rookies. You know what I mean? So, it's a little dangerous for Tennessee.
And the one thing that was mentioned that the Hopkins got signed by him, here's my thing on that. We, as in Philly, get A.J. Brown that Tennessee let go, and then a year later they sign an 8-year older receiver. I don't think that the offense is where it needs to be. Like I said, I think the defense is tough. That's what's going to keep them in games. That will win them games. As far as
that in the running game.
Yeah, but as long as their offensive line stays healthy, obviously. But they got holes there that I don't think they filled very well over the offseason.
Now, I agree with you, but Derrick Henry is a different type of back. You know what I mean? He's in that Adrian Peterson class. Well, you don't need that great of an offensive line when you know what I mean, 6'2" and 230 pounds and you run over everybody. Not to say that's going to be a winning formula for them, but it's going to be able to control games to give Tannehill an opportunity to win the game with their defense and their running game.
I mean, for them, I hope so, but
Hey, on paper, it sounds wonderful.
it does. It does.
Who else have you talked about?
Just Jacksonville and Tennessee, and I figured we'd move over to Texas, the Texas state, to Houston and talk about them before ending the division with our hometown Stephen A's own team.
Wow.
So
Hey, training camp look good.
Right? Yeah. All that matters. Sold out. A couple sold out training camp practices.
right?
I was there.
Are you? Yeah.
I was there, sporting my Steeler gear.
First they hand out some money. I mean, that's a good way to keep people in town. So it's all about C.J. Stroud, right? That's all.
It's all about C.J. Stroud. I mean, I think Houston's going to be a little bit better than what people think they are. Not to say that they're going to win games, but I think they're going to be competitive. Stroud is an exceptional quarterback, even though he went to that ridiculous school. Him, like Justin Fields, are better quarterbacks than people are giving him credit when it comes to their arm and placing the ball at different places. I think he is more of a pocket passer or a true passer than Justin Fields coming out of OSU. But I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. And, Houston, fought hard last year. So, giving them some type of encouragement or some type of something to look for in Stroud, I think Houston, can maybe make somebody else's season a non-success.
Source, have a stab at it.
Houston was 3-6-1 last year in one-score games, so they were in half their games they were in it to the very end. Their defense, I think, is definitely their strong suit. Their defense was really good last year. I agree. C.J. Stroud is the key point of their offense. Their offensive line is no joke either. It's just who do they have at running back that's going to carry the load? Because you have Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary, and we know Singletary was decent in Buffalo. But who's going to take the heavy carries for them to keep Stroud from having to throw 40, 50 times a game? I don't know if they are the worst team in the division. I'll say that. I don't know if they're the worst team in the division, but I don't really see them being a 6-7 win team unless they can really keep the pressure off of Stroud. And I don't know if they can do that, to be honest with you.
Now, I don't know about a 7-6-5 win, but I think they'll be a little better than they were last year.
Yeah. But they were 3-6-1 last year in one-score games, so they were in the games last year, and they had far less talent last year than they did this year.
Yeah.
What you're saying is they can't finish.
And yeah,
that's terrible for a professional football team, man.
Steven, what do you think's happening in Houston? What do you think you got to worry about there? Anything?
I really do want to see C.J. Stroud and how he does. I mean, I think, because there was a little rumblings that maybe the Colts wanted to jump up there and grab him. I mean, why wouldn't you want to grab that impressive of a quarterback? So, I mean, that's really what I'm looking at. And, how far he can go. Maybe he could be the difference in some of those one-score games.
Well, a lot of people say, those one-score games, and I think a lot of it had to do with the discombobulation between the owner's box, the GM box, the coach's box. They got D'Amico Ryans in there now. I think he's going to do very well. I think he's going to keep that defensive mindset in Houston. And I think that they have a really, really future superstar in Tank Dell. I think that he is going to impress people for years to come. They are way more up and coming, and I think if you look at them in Tennessee, I think they're going up the other way on the teeter-totter scale. So Tennessee's coming down, Houston's flopping up, and so
go ahead.
No,
I said I'd have to disagree with you on the discombobulation part because Houston fixed that when they got rid of O'Brien.
Well, true.
You know what I mean? It's just they just had to go through those low
Growing
years.
pains.
You know, once you got rid of O'Brien and you got rid of I still think, not to say that he's not a creep, but I still think there was some dishonesty when it came to the organization dealing with Deshaun Watson and all of these. How can I say this politically correct? Have fabricated allegations. Because it wasn't it was supposed to be going on for 3 years, and there was none inclination of anything going on. They just gave him big money. I want to get traded. Oh, 26 chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds kind of coincidental to me. So, but I agree with you. I think they're on the up and up. But I think when they got rid of O'Brien and the Deshaun Watson distraction, I think that's when they started to rebuild as a franchise and with that connection with that city.
Well, and I guess I meant like that the growing pains, kind of like what you said, going through all that, getting rid of it, and weeding out everything, and now they're pretty much starting fresh. And I think they got a good future ahead of them. And here we are, Stephen A. to the wonderful Indianapolis Colts, sir.
Hey,
I missed the Jaguars.
You did. You
what do you think on the Jaguars?
They're the best team. They're the best team in the division, and they get back Calvin Ridley. So there you go. That's it.
Absolutely.
They're winning the division. You think they can make noise in the playoffs, Damon?
First round.
Okay. I mean, for them, that might be.
I mean, first round. Right now. Get ask me in 17 weeks. I might have a different story for you.
I mean, the top is pretty strong.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead. Let's hear Steven about these Colts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, I got something for these Colts.
So do I.
The only thing I can think, the good thing is they announced Anthony Richardson. I went back and forth on it. I was like, do you give him time? Do you just, throw him to the wolves right away? And it's probably the right choice to just put him out there. I mean, at this point, how much lower can you go? So, and you're already keeping Ballard around, so it's not like you're losing anything with that. So you got a you got a new coach. I mean, the Jonathan Taylor stuff. That's another. You look at that. He has no bargaining chips because he's got to play. He's got to play to show that he's worth the contract, or whoever wants it. So I mean, that's it goes back. It's like I just let you go, Damon, because I feel like I'm just.
No. The he's playing for another contract. That was the funny part.
Yeah, I know.
He's a running back. He's playing for another contract.
It'd be nice if you finish out this one first, but whatever.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, because in the NFL, it's like, hey, you can say you want to be traded all you want, but this isn't the NBA. You can't sit out and do half-ass it. Like, you got to show you can play, because he wasn't good last year. Yes, he had a phenomenal year 2 years ago, but it's the what have you done for me lately? So if he doesn't show anything this year, I mean, why would anybody want to pay him anything? So
why would any running back want to do anything if you know that you're not going to get paid?
Yeah. If you have to have a Zoom meeting about it that for no reason, like that's in nowhere. Oh, see, even the dog agrees with me. So
Yeah. He does.
That whole Zoom meeting, I was just like, what is this even going to do? Because it's like us talking, like, we could say, oh, they should get paid, they shouldn't, but we probably would get the same, solution because it's not going to mean anything. But defensive wise, I also want to see Shaq Leonard because at the beginning of training camp and the beginning of the offseason, they're like, man, it's turned into Andrew Luck situation. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, he looks like he's pretty spry out there. He's going full speed, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right, well, show me a full season because there's no doubt Shaq Leonard makes a difference on defense, and that's if he could do that again, then that could help Anthony Richardson on offense, and you have Shaq Leonard getting turnovers for the offense. I mean, that's really saying something. So
Speaking like a true Colts fan.
True Colts fan, boy. Talk about grasping at straws like
if Andrew Luck comes back, we are in.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
There it is. Manning.
Okay, we can't have that blasphemy.
There it is.
Coach, GM, player, running back, wide receiver. He's like Mr. Perfect. He's going to throw a pass.
Oh, my mercy. Oh, my mercy.
First question is, did anybody really think that Richardson wasn't going to be the starting quarterback? Did you, Steven, honestly think that they were going with Minshew?
No, I think with the limited time he had in college, I would have rather him sat back. If you didn't have, if you had Minshew, I probably wouldn't have done that. But yes, I truly did not think he would start week 1. That's just my own.
I am baffled. Listen.
I mean, 13 games in college. I don't know.
You had 2 quarterbacks and not play one game. But listen, I don't have anything against Richardson. I think he's going to be pretty good. I thought at the beginning of the year, if Jonathan Taylor would have actually played up to his potential, that he could potentially give Rookie of the Year to Anthony Anderson because of the opportunities that he's going to have and being on the field. But with the contract issues and him being stubborn and him trying to hold out for the running backs, I'm kind of skeptical on that. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen with the Colts.
Yep.
They're going to do the very best plausible deniability tanking for Marvin Harrison Jr. that we have ever seen.
Hey, all I'm going to say is this. This is my opinion on the Colts. If Richardson doesn't work out at quarterback, Caleb Williams is available at the #1 pick next year.
No, they're going for Marvin.
They're going Marvin, bro.
There's too much legacy in that name here.
I'm just saying, I think the Colts are probably going to be the worst team this year. They'll be the #1 pick. So they really want another quarterback. Caleb Williams is available at #1.
Hey, listen. I'm not real. We'll see what Caleb Williams is really about. I know he won the Heisman last year, but I think it was kind of circumstance how he got in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Playing in the Pac-12. All you got to do is complete 50 or 60% of your passes. You're in the Heisman Trophy race in the Pac-12. I don't want to diminish the young man's skills. We'll talk about him in a couple weeks. But I don't know if that's really going to translate up to the next level. A lot of those guys don't translate up. And so if I was a coach, I like the upside that Richardson has. No quarterback is going to be great in that situation. Even their famed Peyton Manning went 3-13.
And lots of interceptions.
You know what I'm saying? And he's the greatest regular season quarterback ever.
I think you guys give him time to grow. My question is more so, how do you start your career of the quarterback and the new head coach the way that this team has done the whole offseason this year so far? They are throwing away one of the best talented running backs in the league. They are, they went from one of the better rosters in at least the division to wow.
I'm Team Irsay on Jonathan Taylor. I'm Team Irsay. You signed the contract, bro. Play your contract out, then we discuss. Irsay has a history of paying his guys when it's time to pay his guys. Yeah. All you got to do is do your thing, and he'll pay you. Now you're forcing Irsay's...
Sorry, he's also paid beforehand. Like last year...
Yeah.
The defensive player that Kenny Moore, he got paid last year before his contract was up.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously,
and he earned it. I mean, I'm saying, like, Irsay has always had a record of paying his guys.
Well, wasn't the deal with this outside of Jonathan Taylor to start with, though? Or am I wrong on this?
No, I mean, so Taylor switched agents, and he went to the same agent that Shaquille Leonard had.
Okay.
But so I don't know if maybe he talked to him and said, "Hey, you need to ask for your money now." I mean, the big thing is that agent and Irsay were kind of going back and forth on Twitter.
That's
I think
right.
that's
That's
a lot
right,
of
that's
people.
Yeah.
So Taylor kind of sat in the background, but then you did have. It felt like Taylor said, "Hey, I want to be traded," and then they did have the whole meeting on the bus, for an hour after practice.
Yeah.
The same practice that Irsay was giving out the money.
Hey.
So I think that's very.
Listen,
That's very.
listen.
interesting. Weren't you at that one? I think you were at that one.
I probably was, but I'm a contract guy. If you want your team to honor your contract, then you need to honor your contract. Like, I'm not on Zach Taylor's side. The Cowboys made you the highest paid offensive player 2 years ago. Now everybody has gotten their money, and now you want more money because they got their money? Nah, bro, that's not how this works. And and I hate to be on Jerry Jones' side. I really do, because he's the lemon head where you had the crack dealer that sold the fake crack, and they sucked off the lemon head. That's what Jerry Jones looks like.
Damn.
That's
Let's start the season off hot.
I actually do agree with Damon. I mean,
No diss on the Cowboys.
his contract's not up yet, and I get that. And it's up, like you said, go out and prove it. Show you got to get paid. Because I mean, look at last season. He got hurt, and he just wasn't right the whole season. So,
Like, if you ran for 2,000 yards last season, okay, I'm Team Jonathan Taylor. That's overperforming your contract.
Is this his third year?
yeah.
Just so you know, I just want to show this quick since he went on that rant. Here's how this started in the chat, right? He started out with the Cowboys suck.
There's Big Ben.
But then he finished with the Pittsburgh Swallows. This explains a lot, though. And then he said Steven's a wrestling fan, so.
There you go.
Gotta love Big Ben. Folks.
Big Ben is our number one fan of all
He is a network
Chunky.
fan for life. God love him.
Oh, I hate to put a pause in it, but Dan,
Yo.
you wasn't with us last week. We didn't get to hear about the SCIP.
Oh man, that was a 14 fights, one hell of an event, and now we're matching up for November 4th. And holy shit, man! If you guys can make it down there, I mean, make it down to Evansville. If you can't, there's a pay-per-view link. Oh my God, these fights are gonna be hot. I witnessed literally, Damon, one of the best fights I have ever seen in a cage, live at least, between two amateurs. It was one of the best fights, if not the best fight I've ever seen. 5 rounds of just beating the dog shit out of each other. A little heat going into it. A little weight missing. You know how I love that.
Oh yes, I hate people missing weight.
Oh man, it was bad. But they still,
beforehand.
Well, actually, fight your weight, and you won't have to miss weight.
I'm with you on that. God knows I didn't like cutting weight. But yeah, man, that was one hell of a
That's for
fight.
sure.
Come on now. Nope.
You
man.
opened the door for that one.
I did. But you know what? It's gone. But yeah, I cannot wait. SICP, Southern Indiana Combat Production. Sorry. Go to southernindianacombat.com. Get your tickets. Get your pay-per-view. It would be up for me.
I had to put the plug in there. I had to.
He's down south. He's in Florida.
Whatever, Ben. Whatever. Come on.
Benjamin.
Gotta get Big Ben up here.
I know. He needs to come up here. He drives for a living, so drive your happy ass up here. You know you would drive straight from, where's he at? He's up here in Fort Myers area now.
Oh, yeah, Fort Myers.
Just don't stay at that guy's house. Go to the one above it.
Yeah, he cooks way better.
Oh, I had one tonight, bro. Woo!
Oh shit!
And if
I
you
went.
want
This is.
years of disappointment, hang out with the Colts fans.
Oh, damn!
Just hang out from
When
anywhere
do,
behind
when do we
the
get
TV right here.
the cooking show like on here?
Yeah.
Live from the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah, Rachel
Ugh.
Ray.
Rachel
Oh,
Ray.
wow! Wow! Let's use butter.
Just butter. Just know that.
Hey, butter is amazing. All right, so let's get some predictions so we can't talk about the AFC all day. We have to jump over to the worst the league, the worst division in
I don't
football
know,
in a
Damon.
second.
If-
This was pretty bad too.
I was gonna say both of these, man. These are
Jacksonville might be the saving grace.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
Jags win.
Jacksonville is keeping you from being the worst football team, first league in football. But this is our AFC South predictions. This is not how they go. This is the order that the helmets are in the shot.
No way.
So yeah,
I
no
say,
way.
If this was right, there's no way the Colts are finishing number 1 anyway.
No way. So
22.
so. So, Source, what's your record predictions for these four juggernaut of losing teams?
I will say Jacksonville's going to go 10-7. They're going to have a couple games where they're just going to absolutely shit the bed, and everybody's going to doubt them. I will say Tennessee's going to come in at 9-8. They're going to be like, they're not going to make the playoffs on that record. Houston, like 5-12, and Indianapolis like 2-15. I don't know. I mean, I know everybody's on the Richardson train, but like I need to see more than a couple drives in preseason to be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be all right. Like, you don't have Jonathan Taylor. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, I didn't say he was going to be great this year. I say he has potential to be good. They're going to suck.
You're gonna have Duke Tomatoes thinking about them. Lord help our Colts.
Hey, Dan, what you got?
I have the Jacksonville Jaguars going 10-7, winning the division. Behind them, Tennessee second at 7-10. The Houston Texans come in at 5-12, and the Indianapolis Colts come in at 4-13.
We'll let Steven go last.
Oh wait, I see what you did there.
I got Jacksonville at 10-7. I got Tennessee at 8-9. I got Houston at 5-12, and I got the Colts at 4-13.
Yep, sounds good.
No, Steven, how many games do you really think your Colts are going to end up pulling off this year?
I mean, it's got to be 4. Like they're. It's not gonna be. I mean, I feel like we're gonna see little moments of Richardson that will get people, like, oh my God, they can do some. But yeah.
They need something to get the Ledger look out your mouth.
Or the Carson Wentz.
Matt Ryan. He might show up.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what?
Hunter Minshew.
Give it about 20 years, you guys could have Phillip Rivers' kids as your entire offense.
We could have his whole team, right?
He just had another one too.
That's what I said.
Golly almighty, ain't no
We're
way.
just waiting on Arch Manning. Oh wait.
You still got 3 full years for that one, buddy.
Hilton is up at Zionsville. We can wait on him.
Manning to Harrison 2.0, right?
Yep. That would be great.
Lord,
There's
have
no-
mercy,
there's no,
Jesus.
yeah, watch it, people. There's a conspiracy on the loose right there. All right, we got to jump into the NFC.
All right.
Yes, we do.
Since I don't know the NFC and I'm watching AEW. So,
All right.
Hey,
as always, catch the best wrestling podcast ever. So yeah.
Take him out, Steven. Tell him where to find you.
Oh, that. Yeah. Super Kicking It with Steven and Greg.
And Greg.
I'm getting there.
I just wanted to chime in with you.
It's a pregnant pause. You gotta give it that little extra oomph. So yes. And of course, always follow the Facebook page. Trying to always post some good topics of discussion. Our cafeteria table's got some good talk going, so that's always good. Yeah, this weekend we'll be talking the shows, and then next weekend is the huge AEW All-In show. 80,000 people expected at Wembley Stadium, so that is huge for a t-shirt company as they keep playing. So, yeah, it'll be awesome. And it's at 1 because it's live from London, so it'll be nice to have a pay-per-view over before, it starts, which is always good. So, yeah, good times.
Nice.
But thank you for having me on. Always good times. I think we've got to get a fall, network show like we did for 4th of July. I think that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got to get something going here very soon.
Do some seasonal stuff.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Steven A, everybody. Appreciate
Seasonal.
it, brother. Ah, he's seasoning it. Oh, my mercy. Oh, my mercy. He's seasoning it. He's trying to find one more win for his team this year.
17-0. We got it.
Madden.
And then they turned their Xboxes off.
Default.
All right, so let's jump in. So have a good one, buddy. All right, let's jump into this NFC. So you got the Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Buccaneers. Name all 4 starting quarterbacks. Dan.
Drew Brees. Cam Newton. Tom Brady. Matt Ryan. Oh man, I know. Derek Carr meant to the big easy now, so it's going to be interesting to see him down there. And then isn't Baker on one of these teams?
Baker.
First off, which of these teams in the division has Baker not played for?
Well, good.
The Saints.
Yeah. Damn.
Desmond Ritter's going to be the starting quarterback for Atlanta, in case you forgot
True.
who he was.
That is true. Cincinnati.
Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Do they have an offensive line that's going to be able to keep him healthy? Do they have anything around him? I think they're better off than another team in this division, but
Offensively, they do. They got
Yeah.
I think they're okay offensively. Their defense is what I'd be questioning.
Yeah, because they got a really, really, really good tight end. Who's Pitts. Oh yeah, that dude's phenomenal. I think they're better offensively than they are defensively, like Matt said. But let's face it, man, Atlanta is not going to win a lot of games.
They're in definitely a rebuilding mode still. They do have a couple pieces that should be played well. Bijan Robinson, that's a definite.
See, look, we can't even get nothing to say about this division.
I know, like damn. The only reason I can talk about the other division is because it's Colts' division.
Well,
this whole division is rebuilding.
I can tell you on defense though, they have Calais Campbell, who has been good over the years. Whether he's going to be good again, they picked up Bud. Did they pick up Bud Dupree in the offseason, or did they already have him from last year? I don't remember. And then they drafted Arnold Ebiketie from Penn State as a linebacker, who he could play the edge when he was there. Was actually pretty decent. So their defensive line and some of their linebacking stuff, they look pretty good defensively. And then Cordero Patterson doing kick returns is going to be exciting again.
I mean, if he can run the ball out the end zone, if they use XFL kickoff rules, he'll excite the league.
I would have.
Now, this division is absolutely terrible. So it's basically you're voting for the lesser of two evils, so to speak, the lesser of four evils.
Yeah.
Like every team in this league is rebuilding. You either have a quarterback who's trying to find his way or his true path, or you have brand new quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like with Atlanta and Carolina, I mean, I know Ritter was there last year, but you basically still have brand new quarterbacks. And then with Tampa and New Orleans, you have guys who are trying to resurrect something. Well, one guy trying to resurrect a career, and the other guy trying to resurrect a fault of having a career.
Yeah. I mean,
He's got great commercials, though.
And let's be honest, I think this division does belong to New Orleans. I think they are in the better spot as any of these teams in their division. Because I think Derek Carr can be a winner. I think he can lead a team into the playoffs. I don't know how far, but I think he can lead a team into the playoffs as long as he has a team around him. Now, what's his name? Kamara, he is suspended for 3 games?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and who knows if Michael Thomas is actually going to play?
Right.
But you said about Kamara, don't forget they signed that Jamal Williams that was in Detroit last year.
They did, and I think that is that's a two-headed monster in the backfield for sure. But for those first 3 games, you got to pull it out. Now, I believe, and I might be mistaken on this. I don't have the schedule right in front of me, but I believe the first 3 games while Kamara is out, I think I had them going 2-1, if I'm not mistaken. Matt, are you looking up the first 3 games?
Yeah, it's Tennessee, Carolina, and Green Bay.
Okay, so I did have.
Yeah, they can easily go 2-1. They can easily be 3-0. They can easily be 3-0.
Potentially 3-0. So I don't think that him being suspended for those first 3 games is necessarily going to hurt them. But you add in the addition of Michael Thomas, is he going to play? Who knows?
I mean, we've been listening to Keyshawn for the last 3 years. I forgot Michael Thomas. How does this guy stay on the roster? What kind of contract does he have that no other NFL players got?
Bobby Bonilla contract.
I mean, isn't he hurt or mentally issued every year?
So not to keep harping on the Saints, but if you look through their schedule, based on what their schedule looks like, they might be the best team in that division just based on how their schedule looks for the whole year.
Compared to the other ones?
I think compared to the others, but I think they're the best team in the division for one because they're the most intact team.
Yeah. But still though, I mean, you're talking they play like Tennessee, Carolina, Green Bay for the first 3. They get Houston. They got New England, and we don't know what New England's going to be this year. But even though they added Bill O'Brien, we don't know.
And Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, we don't know what Minnesota is going to be this year. So,
well, the NFC is trash. The NFC has 3 teams: the Cowboys, the Seahawks, and the defending NFC champs, the Eagles. Those are okay. Let me take that back. The NFC has 2.5 teams because the Cowboys are only good for 12 games.
I'm telling you right now, before we get to our predictions, Damon, I know what I told you in the notes, and I believe I had those flip-flopped with the New Orleans and Tampa Bay records, now that I'm thinking of it.
Well, you had New Orleans, Carolina, and Tampa Bay flip-flopped because you have a tie. Yeah. And I love how you put ties in their records and your predictions.
All their division games are gonna end in ties at this point.
And they do. Every one of his division picks has a tie in it.
Yeah, but I'm saying Atlanta.
No, I didn't have a tie. I did not have a tie in the AFC South.
All 4 teams are gonna finish with 6 ties. It's gonna be against each other.
Damn.
Damn.
What would the record be? 6, 5, 6, and 6, or 6, 5, and 6? Holy shit!
That's ridiculous,
man.
No, this is like the week D, when you play one of these 4 teams, this is the week that you like rest people.
If you're gonna do a survivor pool and like anything for money, just pick every game that's not a division game with the NFC South. So like, if it's like, I don't know, maybe even the Tennessee New Orleans game, it's like, maybe I'll take Tennessee because the division's bad.
Where's it at?
With this division, I don't think it matters. With either one of them.
Tennessee could be a wish-wash too.
I think with both of them, both Souths is looking kind of skeptical, bro.
Very.
Well, so you're talking about them all being in rebuilds, but what do you really think about Tampa Bay, like overall? I know with Baker Mayfield coming in and competing with Kyle Trask.
That's your statement right there. There's the answer to your statement, your question. He's competing with Kyle Trask. That lets you know everything you need to know.
I'm saying overall, take that out of the question. Tampa Bay wasn't completely. I wouldn't say they were great, but they weren't completely trashed last year. They got hurt by the injury bug a lot last year, and I think defensively, again, it sucks to say that in the South. Their defenses that look pretty decent on paper. So, I mean, do you really think Tampa Bay is in a complete rebuild, or is it just finding the quarterback to lead them?
I completely do think they're in a rebuild. I really do. I mean, how long are you gonna keep Leonard Fournette? Because those guys that came in to help Brady win that chip are all old guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These old guys are fading out, and you got to get a new regime in. So you got to find your quarterback one. No, they haven't.
They haven't been doing that at all.
Michael Evans is old and shit. He can't run a route. 3 good routes in a row. You know what I'm saying? Shit's hurting in Tampa. I mean, it's warm. You know what I'm saying? You get to play in a nice stadium. The cannons go all boom, boom, boom.
True. Very true. All right, Damon.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, there we are. The NFC South. That's the teams. Source. Predictions on the records.
All right, so I think the Saints win that division with a 9-8 record. In all honesty, that sounds. You laugh, but I think that's what it's going to be. I think Carolina comes in at like 6-11. I think they're going to struggle, especially at quarterback. Atlanta is going to be 5-12, and I think it's going to be a tie between Tampa Bay and Atlanta at 5-12. Because I think Tampa Bay is going to have a revolving door at quarterback also this year.
Yeah, he was being harsh. I was a little bit more. I was a little bit more for come forth in. I got New Orleans at 9-8. I got Carolina at 8-9. Tampa Bay at 7-10, and Atlanta at 6-11.
And I have. This is where I flip-flopped here. I did have one game difference. I was laughing at you, Matt, because that's who I have winning the division at 9-8.
Yes.
Tampa Bay and Carolina come in at 8-9 in that division, and Atlanta comes in at the last, but just off a hair, at 7-9-1.
Who's their tie against? I need to know this. Who are they tying?
Hold on, let me look at my notes.
Indianapolis.
That's very possible. Hold on here. Let me look. I'm gonna give you the damn team. Hold on here. Look.
Just a little back in your head, since you wasn't knowing with this last week. I want to know if you think the Steelers are going to be 500 or not.
Let me look at my notes. Let's see. Hold on. I can answer that one quicker than I can. Let's see. Who do I have? I had Pittsburgh. I had Pittsburgh at 10-7. I had them coming in just under Cincinnati, but I think honestly Baltimore may sneak out of there the way they're playing, the way they're looking like they could play, I should say.
I mean, we said
I didn't have them finishing above neither one of them teams, though. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you who Atlanta's going to tie.
Who's going to tie it?
Nobody, because I'm not going to tie anybody.
Hold
It's
on.
going to be one of these random games that's going to be a tie. Like, it's going to be like Houston versus, like, some fucking Joe Schmo, whatever. That's going to end in a
Joe
tie
Schmo.
again.
Atlanta and Washington, because I had
Oh,
Washington
my God. Are you
weeks
kidding me?
ago as a tie. Yes.
Wow.
I want to know what you're smoking. To
There
come up with
you
that.
have it.
Peyote. That is absolutely amazing.
Matt, you had one hell of an interview, by the way, last week. It was Isaac Johnson from Isaac Johnson Racing. He ran in the series past Friday night. Did pretty solid. I mean, for his debut in ARCA, he didn't lose a spot. There was only, I think, 6 cars on the lead lap at the end, and
Yep.
you know he was held and strong. You know, can you give us a little bit of how that interview was?
Yeah, so Isaac was actually a pretty cool cat to talk to. We had a lot of fan participation in it as well. Very laid back. If you didn't catch it, you can catch it on the YouTube page and our Facebook page. And yeah, his background of how he got to where he was kind of cool to talk about a little bit. He started 13th, finished 12th, ended up, I think, like 4 laps down. Jesse Love, who we got to, Sean or Tommy Boy and I got the interview, won the race, so that was kind of cool too. But good luck to Isaac in the future, man. He's got a bright future ahead of him in racing, and I mean that sincerely. I think good head on his shoulders and very motivated, and he's gonna turn some heads. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say is he's gonna turn some heads.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
You can find me as helping out on just a bit outside podcast for baseball. You can catch me with Checkers and Wreckers. I am working on trying to get some more racing stuff put out. Just had the Knoxville Nationals. Congrats to Kyle Larson winning his second. Shocker. But David Gravel, 22nd to second. That was an awesome thing to see too. And then coming within the next month and a half or so, hockey. We kind of have a name for it, but we kind of don't. We're working on that.
He had already told the people the name.
Yeah, well.
I got a baseball question for you.
Yeah.
Does Aaron Boone return as Yankee skipper next year?
I don't think he does, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
I think what's going to keep him from coming back is all the times he's been ejected this year instead of trying to actually manage them.
Oh, that's it. Or the fact that the Yankees suck.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Well, you laugh at that, and I don't disagree, but the Yankees, they've struggled so much this year with injuries and the fact that, like, Aaron Boone just can't stay in the dugout. He has to come out and argue every ball and strike. So
Well, he was an arguer when he was a player.
it deserves him right if he gets canned. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets fired before the season's over.
Yeah, that was the part B doesn't even make the season. Like, bro, they suck.
What's going to happen? Aaron Boone's going to get fired, and Aaron Judge is going to take over as player coach, like Pete Rose, and then, you know, he's going to gamble.
He's going to bet on gamble. Then he's going to gamble on baseball.
Get banned from the Hall of Fame. Appeal it, do something stupid, so.
One of these days, Pete will be in there.
Not after his last incident, he won't.
He will be. After he's dead.
Listen, OJ is in the Hall of Fame. Free Pete. Free Pete.
Glove didn't.
The glove didn't fit.
Yeah. And on that note, folks, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been really fun as always. Catch us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on BW Sports 1, the Dukes of Football. Next week will be the West Division.
Oh, you guys gotta get the Wizard on here for that one.
West.
Oh, absolutely. The Wizard.
Oh, yeah, so we can talk how bad Justin Herbert needs an NIL deal with Proactive.
That's funny right there. That's funny right there.
Oh, that's
That is funny right there. Check out everybody of our friends. Let them be your friends. Elite Performance, Checkered Checkered Life Customs. You can bet that. Doc Sports Picks, My Bookie, The Fighter's Friend, The One's Kitchen, Inner Beast Sportswear, and Southern Indiana Combat Production. God damn, I am off tonight. I think
All right.
I'm
I need to add Southern Indiana.
Yeah. And then
SCP.
and as always, check out the whole network, Chuckers and Wreckers, the state of basketball, super kicking it with Steven. Combat Zone, just a bit outside, coming soon. We already know the hockey's coming, and the Dukes of football.
And Greg.
Oh, yeah, we gotta switch that out.
I'm working with last year's models. Working with last year's models.
Yeah,
and Greg.
and Greg. Off to the side of the whole screen, folks. That's right. All right, Damon. It's that time. What do we do?
Well, we used to keep Andy sporty, and now we keep him less hungry.
Pew, pew. And that's my cue to hit